Hello guys, good afternoon. In this class, I am going to teach you about the rule of probability, or which is known as laws of probability. There are two rules of probability. One, additive rule, and another multiplicative rule. So in additive rule, there are different events, two or more than two events if are there, then what is the combined probability of those two or more than two events? Okay, we can find out by applying additive rule. So by addition method, probability we can find out of two or more two events, that is belongs to additive rule. And multiplicative rule is also there, and in the case of multiplicative rule, two or more events if are there, and what is the product of the probability of those two or more than two events probability. Okay, so multiplicative, just we multiply the probability of two or more than two events, and in additive rule we just add or combine the probability of two or more than two events. Here the first rule, additive rule of probability, is given here. Multiplicative rule of probability is given here. So in the case of additive rule, there are two conditions. Two conditions we require. Okay, two conditions we require. And first conditions, if cases are mutually exclusive. In additive rule, two conditions are there. One condition, if events are mutually exclusive. So if events are mutually exclusive means those two or more than two events where their combined probability is not possible. Combined probability means those two events cannot occur together. If that condition is fulfilled, that is known as mutually exclusive. Mutually exclusive means events whose simultaneous occurrence is not possible, whose combined probability is not given or is not possible. In that case, we apply this additive rule, and first condition for that we apply. And here suppose let A and B be two mutually exclusive events. Then according to additive rule of probability, additive rule of probability, occurrence of at least one event is given by, we can write here P A union B. This union B, A union B, always for the additive rule we use A union B, or this union is also written as P A or B. A or B, A union B is same, or P A plus B, this is same. Okay, whatever you like you can write. Then A union B, this is given by P A plus P B. P A plus P B. Because here cases are mutually exclusive. Their common terms is absent here. So in this way, in the case of mutually exclusive events, additive rule is this one. And second condition, just you write second, if events are not mutually exclusive. Are not mutually exclusive means their common occurrence is possible. Simultaneous occurrence is possible. Okay, so such types of events if given, then by additive rule probability of at least one event is given by this additive rule. Okay, let A and B be two not mutually, you write, yeah, not mutually exclusive events. Then according to additive rule of probability, occurrence of at least one event is given by, symbol is same, only difference is here minus P A intersection B. So intersection means common occurrence, simultaneous occurrence, both the events. Okay, probability of both the events occurs is also given. So we subtract from this. In this way, additive rule we apply to find out the probability of at least one event. Okay, at least means you are familiar about that. At least means one event or more than one event. Okay, this one. Now multiplicative rule. We discussed on multiplicative rule. So second one, I am going to write multiplicative rule. Multiplicative rule of probability. Here also two conditions. First conditions, two conditions are there. First conditions, if events are independent. So in the case of multiplicative, there is independent and dependent. Okay, always you keep in your mind that in the case of multiplicative rule, events are dependent and independent. In the case of additive rule, mutually exclusive and not mutually exclusive. So you keep this point in your mind. Multiplicative rule, if events are independent. I write here, let A and B be two independent events. Independent in independent events, then according to multiplicative rule, multiplicative rule of probability, occurrence of both the events is given by here you write A intersection B, intersection sign, or this intersection sign is called AND, A and D, AND, or this is written as A into B, yeah, and this is PA into PB. Both the events occurrence is given by this one. So this in multiplicative rule, A intersection B, or A or B, or A into B. This rule is applied for more than 2 events also, okay? More than 2 events. 3 events, 4 events, 5 events, okay? Additive rule is also applied for 2 or more than 2 events, and multiplicative rule is also applied for 2 or more than 2 events. This one. So this is the case of dependent events, independent events. And if second case, in multiplicative, second case, you write second case, if events are dependent. If events are dependent, let A and B be 2 dependent events. Events according to multiplicative rule of probability, occurrence of both the events, occurrence of one event, this one is independent event, this one is dependent events, okay? So occurrence of events A when B is already occurred. B is already occurred, this one. So this is written as like this, P A upon B. We can read this one, probability of occurrence of A in which B is already occurred. B is already occurred, you have given. And this is given by like this, P A intersection B upon P B. This one. Sometimes B is independent, A is dependent, then in that case you can write P B by A. B by A. This we can write P A intersection B upon P A. You write. So which one is dependent? That you write in denominator. So in this way we can apply these rules if there are 2 or more than 2 events. Okay? Thank you.